flare. There's a flare. Okay, I guess there'd be a flare. A roadside flare in the first aid kit, or whatever. Emergency kit, I mean. Yeah, especially since it's a cop car. Yep, we're straight up doing driving segments now. Okay, let's navigate first. Make sure I know how to get there. What am I... Oh. Pressing the triggers skips between a bunch of waypoints. That's not what I was going for. Whoops. Where am I? Side missions. I don't... This side mission is yet to occur. Yeah. I'll have to review what this menu means because it's a little weird. I think it might mean that these missions are available during those chapters of the story. And so if you're not in those chapters of the story, you won't have access to that side mission. But I'll have to review that. There's like a whole weird system in this game. It's real odd. I think it mostly has to do with that it involves certain characters and it has to be during a particular part of the story for that character, but also they have to be available would be my guess. And that's why there's weird ranges to some of this stuff. It's odd. Let's just close this and open it again. Map. There we go. I was like, where am I on this map? I don't know how to get back to me. That's the furthest you can zoom out, huh? What the hell? That was weird. I was convinced that the joystick was like misbehaving, but maybe not. So not so hard, but I'm gonna want to get out here and turn right, and then left, and that'll take me into town. Good. Oh, there we go. That's way better. Oop, thought we were gonna freeze for a second there. It's always a weird concept, the idea that, like... Oops. The idea that you want to drive... Talk?
About those bonus features in DVDs nowadays. You know, the ones from the 80s have almost no bonus material. Even if they do, it's a trailer and the visual quality is pretty bad. Well, that visual quality is a good reminder of those days. So many new audio and visual appliances were coming out back then. Do you remember the first video deck we bought? We bought it to record one of the Star Wars movies on TV. And remember when that video store opened, we spent hours there, just trying to find a good movie to rent. There weren't that many to choose from back then. I remember renting some really bad ones after reading those back cover taglines. Hey, remember? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Filmed in 1978. Produced, directed, written, and edited by John DeBello. It was really awful, but for some reason I still remember it pretty well. It had so many sequels, and the original was re-released in '95. The 87-minute-long theatrical release bumped up to a whopping 90 minutes. But that was around the time I joined the Bureau. I'll never have a chance to see it.
I know, Zach. Once this case is over, we can watch it together.
I bet we can buy a copy on the internet pretty easily.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Oopsie. Don't remember anything from the movie, although I think there was a bunch of comical bullshit where there's just clearly like a tomato just lying flat on the floor and someone be like, ah, they're gonna get us, ah! But like I saw that kid, I think I saw that when the re-release happened, he was just talking about like 1995, I guess. So I remember
Zach, is there
nothing.
something here that you want to check out?
We're supposed to go through Anna Graham's file at the sheriff's office, but if you want to act on a hunch, then I'm with you.
Can I get in? No, the trading card. I've been so betrayed. Wait, I have. Oh, there's a lock, but it's on the other side. Oh. I could probably shoot it, but doesn't that make me like a bad guy? Aren't people gonna be like, what are you doing? Are you insane? I don't think this works. I don't think you can just shoot through it, even though that'd be amazing. They're like, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah, it's amazing how music, even dumb music, maybe even especially dumb music, can just stick with you forever. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes just in my brain. Long after the movie completely has been erased from my memory because I saw it when I was probably 5 years old. Oh god, please don't crash into a person. Excuse me, I'm a bad... Oh god. Oh! Turning radius is a thing to worry about. I gotta be careful. Or I'm gonna leave a bad impression with King George.
That's one fine building for such a small town. The exterior woodwork is spectacular. Don't you agree, Zach?
Pleasure to meet you, Agent Morgan. We've been expecting you. I'm Thomas McLean, the sheriff's assistant.
Your run cycle, it can only be described as confusing.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please just call me York. It's what everyone else calls me.
Very well then, Agent York.
I believe I owe you a thank you for retrieving my belongings from my car. Thanks.
Oh, no, just doing my job. I want to help do everything I can to help the investigation. I just can't believe Anna was murdered. She was such a bright and lovely girl.
Did you know her well?
Well, no, not really. But it's a very small town. I'm sorry. It's just that this is the first really big case I've ever seen.
I understand. Just try to relax. Can I have a look at Anna's file now?
Yes, of course. The sheriff told me to let you through to the meeting room, but I've lost the key to the cabinet where the files are. Why don't you take a look around while I go look for it?
Okay. Let me know when things are ready.
Zach, Thomas appears to be the kind and sensitive type, totally at odds with the monarch. Almost a good setting for a cartoon.
Dude, the monarch barely even did anything to you. He was just like, I'm gonna run things around here, right? Which was fine, because you were already like, you couldn't run things around here. But like, you were blowing smoke in his face. Like, come on. Materials room. We've already heard comic relief and life is beautiful. What have you done, Thomas? Where have you left the keys? I really can't seem to find that key. What should I do? The sheriff isn't going to be happy. It has a Southern Flying Squirrel key holder attached to it. You haven't seen it, have you? Southern Flying Squirrel. Alright, let's look for a key. Since he's just staring at a wall. Click. Is it in here? It does not. Is it in here? They're like bookshelves that move. I guess because they close automatically, that means that you don't have to deal with dust on the inside as much. Other than that, it's of course just like, you know, some storage space. Those are years, yeah. Yeah, it's probably primarily just to save space, of course. Although, what's the deal with the center spot? I don't know. Not stuff I'm used to seeing. Man, that TV sure places this in a specific time era, doesn't it? America's Most Wanted. A German Shepherd and Jeff Dunham. What'd the dog do? Alright, we need to find a southern flying squirrel. This person probably has nothing to do with the investigation. Man. Take that, police officer. Whoa. Sudden camera angle change. We're being cinematic. Welcome to jail. It's where we keep the jail. Oh. Oh, the shooting range. Is anyone here? Or are they just moving up here a lot? Is this where I can do the shooting? Striped squirrel keys. Take that, whoever wants. That's a chipmunk, isn't it? Is that a squirrel? I think that's just a striped chipmunk. I mean, I think it's just a chipmunk, not a striped squirrel. I could be wrong, I guess. That's not a southern flying squirrel, though. We're doomed. We need to find a very specific kind of squirrel key. Oh. There's the guy. Oh, are those guys wanted for killing a police officer? Is that why there's a police officer and a German Shepherd on a most wanted thing? Otherwise I got questions. A desk for the warden. Is it even in use? Doesn't seem like it. Person probably has nothing to do with the investigation. Alright. And... Alright. Now I turn back around and the door doesn't open. I've just trapped myself in here. Hey. Sir? Sir? We're gonna need this room, sir. It's time for you to move on, sir. Hopefully we'll be bringing in the culprit soon. Though that'll mean the end of our little vacation here. I mean, yes. It should be beyond that, hopefully. Curvy-tailed flying squirrel. That's not a southern flying squirrel, though. It's just got a curvy tail. Don't they all have curvy tails? Is curvy tail actually the name for it, or are you just describing it visually? Because it's a bad name if they just called one of them, that's the one with the curvy tail. I'm like, yeah, it's a squirrel. Although I really think the last one was a chipmunk, so maybe they're all just squirrel. No, wait, can I open that one? No, I can't. Okay. I was like, I don't think I should be opening the ones that are occupied. Seems like bad practice. Boom! Fuck that door. I just remembered how to do that. Wah! I hate doors. Go! Shit. Walking's hard. Yeah. I'm good at being a man. The trap is to try to take those things into him, but no, I gotta go find the right key. I've made mistakes. Shit, I can't go anywhere else, can I? This person sucks and is unimportant. Ignore him. Do not validate them as a human. Evidently is our approach here. I hate doors. This is an emergency. Agent York, did you find the key? Master key. Oh, that's oh, I can drive every car with that. It's the striped squirrel key.
You found the key.
I hope this is the right one.
You found a Siberian chipmunk this time, have you? Sorry, wrong key.
A Siberian chipmunk?
This species lives in northern Japan on the island of Hokkaido. They're actually quite a popular pet.
So it isn't even a squirrel.
But we're looking for a southern flying squirrel right now.
Alright, I was right, that's not a squirrel at least. First animal reference in the entire game is from Japan, though. It's a flying squirrel. Is curvy-tailed southern, hopefully?
You found the key.
That's the right one?
Yes, a southern flying squirrel. Thank you so much. I'll bring the files right in, so please go to the meeting room.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
You left the key.
Well, Zach, we just got here and we've cracked a big case already.
You left the key to the evidence locker in the jail cell.
The victim's name was Anna Graham. Age 18, she just recently graduated from high school this year. Her dream was to move out to the city and become a model. But for the time being, she was working in the A&G diner here in town. She lived with her mother, Sally. Anna's father died in an accident in a lumber mill when she was a child. Her mother is unemployed and lives on the insurance money from her husband's accident. After all, it's a small town with a low cost of living. Financially, they seem to get by fine, and they led normal lives.
A normal life is exactly what a curious teenager doesn't want. It's all starting to make sense, Zach.
City folk, huh? No, I take that back. All of them can't be as bad as him, and some should have better manners.
This is a good biscuit. I've never tasted a biscuit this delicious. Where in town can I get these?
Well, actually, I baked them myself.
That's amazing. What are you doing in law enforcement? I'm very particular about biscuits, I'll have you know. The balance of milk and butter you've achieved here. Oh, my.
Agent Morgan, the autopsy's ready. You are welcome to accompany me to the Greenvale General Hospital. Emily, you come too. Thomas, stay here and tidy up these files.
Yes, sir.
We're going to use the car outside. Let's get going. You might think this is just a small-town police investigation, but our inspections are thorough and solid. I'm hoping you won't slow us down.
That's some work to make it a little ring. I gotta rebalance the audio again or something. I like the musical cues that how out of control and on the nose they are. It's funny, but oh my god, they are at max volume. Like drowning out the dialogue. I do enjoy that we're just playing a character that everyone is aware immediately that he's just a piece of shit. Like, everyone's like, what is wrong with him? And he's just blazing past that. He's like, I'm quirky. I'm gonna catch the case. My personality's like this because it helps me do my job or something, and not because I'm just a bad person. Putting out... Although in every other scene, he's like, some scenes he has a cigarette holder, in other scenes he's putting out a cigarette on somebody's plate, and then blowing smoke directly into people's faces.
The Greenvale General Hospital is down the road by the lake. It's too far to walk. Come on, get in the car.
If I'm riding in a car, George, I prefer to be the driver. Can you provide a car for me?
What are you talking about? You don't even know how to get there.
Which is another good reason for me to drive, George. I need to learn my way around town.
Oh, man. Very well. Then I'll ride with you. I want to keep an eye on you.
Fair enough.
Just one thing, Agent Morgan. Your involvement in this case is limited. That means you don't have to learn your way around town.
George, we'd better get moving. The hospital closes at 2100.
What's your deal? Are you afraid of, like... Are you afraid of back seats? Are you afraid of carpooling? Wait, let's get moving. The hospital closes at 2100. That's 10.5 hours from now. Better hurry, we won't get there in 10.5 hours. Cue me driving across town and it taking like 12 hours. Because the game's like, got mega fast forward time. I mean, it's a video game, they always have fast forward time, but who knows how far it might be. Yeah, could you calm down? Could you just calm your ass down, music? I like you, I do. I like the soundtrack to this game, but it wants to be the star. And it kind of is, but it needs to be like humble about it at least. It was just... Yes. It's a really weird request. You change settings. Do you want them to apply now? It'll be saved next time you save. I'm like, okay, that's how video games work. I understand. Ah, I should look at the map. The map. Okay. So, we are here. Our goal is... Yeah, there's definitely something a little weird going on with the joystick. Oh, okay. Okay, that's a little weird. Yeah, it's easier if I do it diagonally. If you press left or down, it zooms out. If you press up or right, it zooms in. So the easiest thing to do is press bottom left to zoom out and top right to zoom in, because then you're just centering it between the two things that do the same thing. Because otherwise, if you're pressing down, it kind of might be slightly to... If it's slightly to the right, it'll start zooming in. If it's slightly to the left, it'll start zooming out. And it's like a slightly weird system. Oops, I accidentally lost my character. Oh, there I am. That's Brian's house. That's Anna's house. She's dead. Her name's Anagram. What's that? Her name's an anagram? No, her name's Anagram. I can't hear you across this long table. You're gonna have to speak up. This is what we got set up at this point. So basically just go the way I came back there. I'll probably have to check as we go a little bit. Is she gonna get in the car too? Am I gonna drive for... Oh, it's raining already. Again. It just likes to do that, evidently.
Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George, what are you, his mother?
We just need to get the autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack. Well then, Agent York, let's get going.
Sure, sounds good.
What kind of camera angles do we have? Ooh, we can zoom out even more or go back in here and be able to not see anything. How zoomed out we are. This camera turns like it's in a hurry. Goddamn. That can't go that way. So what is the speed limit? I'm guessing 25, I guess, because it's this just kind of houses around, I think. Maybe the whole town's 25?
Agent Morgan, I can't help noticing you prefer to work alone.
Most of the time, yes.
Don't you get lonely, flying all over the country alone?
I must say I've never felt lonely.
Are you married?
Unfortunately, relationships and I are fleeting strangers. I don't get on very well with women. You might be surprised to hear.
That's because you're young. You notice things like that at my age. You have to treat women carefully, like a thin crystal wine glass. If you don't, they can cut scars on your face, just like yours, right?
George, is this an interrogation? I see you're a seasoned professional. But let's not talk about my scar. It was caused by a problematic woman.
Well, she got you good. Terribly good.
It'll fade away, and nobody will notice it in a week.
A week? It's not that light of a wound.
How did he know?
Tell me, Is there really a need for a full-time sheriff in a small town like this?
I'm sure it is small to your city eyes, but any gathering of people leads to all kinds of problems. Fights, runaways, stray pets.
You're too fixated on violent crimes. Our job is to guide the people along the correct path, first and foremost. That's what I consider to be my duty as the sheriff of Greenvale.
Zach, there he is. The monarch in all his glory. Kind of makes me glad that I wasn't born here.
Did you say something, Agent Morgan?
No, nothing, George. I was just reflecting on a little history.
Well, we're in the middle of a homicide investigation. Keep your mind on the matter at hand.
Okay, which right now is driving.
They can hear you every single time, Agent York. What are you doing? You're jeopardizing everything. Also, make up your mind. Do these people have everything the world needs, or are they cavemen? Are they like the pinnacle of morality, or are you glad you weren't born here? We're getting there. Gotta keep an eye on that gas. We've already lost 20% of it, and I do not want to walk across this town. Oh! That almost went really poorly. It's interesting. I struggle to even align myself with the street because the steering sensitivity is confusing.
That's a pretty big hospital. I guess they wanted to be ready for town-wide food poisoning?
No, it's another leftover from the town's prosperous slumber days. Hard to imagine now, though, isn't it?
My mother always talked about how energetic this town used to be. Almost like a gold rush, she used to say.
Impressive.
But the hotter the fever, the faster it cools. And so now there's hardly anyone left to use this place.
It pains me to watch my hometown lose so many citizens. Beyond your understanding, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sorry to say that it is.
Indeed. And that's why this case is our problem. There really isn't any need for you to get too involved.
I don't think that Poncho's rescuing you from anything. He is drenched instantly. It also just started raining like while we were driving, but damn, we were outside for 5 seconds and we could have run in and got on the balcony, but we're like, no, let's just be wet. They named you Freckly?
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. Do you know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
A computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But how did you know I was FBI?
Easy. None of the police in this town wear cologne. Besides, that scar on your face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside. What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
You haven't heard of this yet? It's a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime. The murder of a local girl. And that incident causes grief and sadness to everyone in town. But
Fiona, don't say that.
sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain, and it's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime committed in a real world. Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
She has actual, like, Coke bottle glasses. Those aren't a real thing, are they? Like, she has a bunch of weird rings on her glasses that I've never seen before. But I've heard the phrase Coke bottle glasses or something along those lines, I think. And I think they joke... It looks like they jokingly took the bottoms of bottles and jammed them on as her glasses. It's the strangest sight.